Hello. Welcome to my very first vlog entry. Diaries of a mad woman, partially mad. We all have to be a little mad, don't we? So, I have a little bit of quiet right now. I'm so exhausted. My youngest daughter is sleeping, and I'm sure she's gonna wake up, so I may need to pause and come back. Ugh, there's so much underneath the surface. Anyways, the vlog. I thought this was a good idea, and because I really enjoy writing. I love writing. But sometimes it's like I don't have, that takes extra long. It takes extra energy. And especially when you have a lot underneath the surface to get out, it's hard to do. And I like being able to speak, from my heart and connect with myself as I'm speaking. Like I'm speaking to someone, it's always nice. But I don't have the social battery to speak to someone, you know what I mean? So the vlog is perfect. So I'm gonna also be working on my nails because I haven't had any time. I am so neglected. And I've been wanting to do my nails for I don't even know how long. I couldn't tell you. And I never have the time. There's always so much to do. So I figured I could definitely handle doing my nails and vlogging until Lorelai cries, and then I'll have to go put her back to sleep. That is a tough topic because I chose to 1000% embrace breastfeeding, and I did not have the mental or emotional capacity to pump so that she was also bottle fed. I have formed and created a booby loving monster. And I'll tell you what, it's like I'm trying to look back at things, and it seems like she never really learned to self-soothe because it's just the boob was always there, right? It's so easy, it's comforting, it's the most nourishing for the baby as well, right? Like there's so many good things to love about it. But now that she's going on 2 years old, she's 20 months. Or sorry, not 20 months. Yeah, 20 months. And I have absolutely no freedom. Unless I physically leave the house. She can't see me or be around me or know of me. Otherwise, it's just mama. So I'm trying to figure out what color to paint my nails. Like at first, before I sat down here, I'm like, you know what? I feel like doing black with a matte finish. And because I'm kind of like going through this deep period of needing to do a lot of shadow work. And you know what? I should just stick with my first plan. Maybe I can kind of make my nail polish changes coincide with like my levels of healing. I have liked the black matte, and I don't know how much more of the black and matte I have because they're such tiny bottles, so small. But I've loved doing the black matte. It's very nice. So I'll do it as long as I can, I guess. Because I was thinking of doing like brighter, nicer colors, like soft rose pink or kind of like a faded out, darker turquoise. But, if we don't do something quick, then we might not be able to do anything at all. Know what I mean, Jellybean? I'm gonna make sure they're like all filed okay. I have my gel nail polish set. I'm praying and hoping that my daughter will nap well. I am really needing a deeper soul's rest, and I'm having a hard time finding it. Like, I feel like there's been so many blockages, and I'm just feeling so stuck. And obviously, I don't want to be. But there, and I know that there's like some toxic beliefs underneath from my upbringing and conditions that are holding me stuck. Like I definitely am being held in place, even though I don't particularly like it. And I'm really wanting to change. So here are the issues at hand, right? I'll fill you in so it makes sense. So in my day-to-day life and motherhood, I'm not okay. I'm not having a good time. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I've been dealing with a lot of anger, shadow, which is why I'm going with the black. I've been very overstimulated. I'm like struggling with feeling seen and understood, with myself and others. So my connections are being affected. And it's just so much different stuff. I'm dealing with the healing journeys of past trauma and past abuse. My childhood, feeling very abandonment wound is definitely very, very big. And I thought that it wasn't. I went through a lot of healing and acknowledging of this abandonment wound before. And I thought I was fine. But it turns out I'm not, which is okay, right? That happens. And it's okay. But to me, it doesn't feel okay. I definitely let anxiety get the best of me. And as much as I want to be saved from these situations, from these feelings, from the way I'm experiencing life and absorbing from everyone and everything around me, there's a big part of me that does not want to show up for myself. And it's definitely inner child, and connected to the abandonment. There's a part of me that's stuck as a child. I have no deeper connection with my mother. I don't remember much physical touch or closeness with her. She was very busy She worked nights, and I know that I would stay up late, and I missed her, and sometimes I would watch her leave out the window. I do have one memory. I had bad asthma when I was a kid, toddler, and I remember I needed breathing treatments late at night after already going to sleep. And I do remember her rocking me on her lap, holding me while I had the mask on and doing the breathing treatment. I don't really have any other memories than that. My guess is maybe I was about 4 years old. I just know that the older I got, the more difficult things felt. And, I really needed my mother more and more. But yeah, nothing changed. And my dad, well, when they were together, when I was growing up, he works. He was home every day. I was more of a daddy's girl. I loved sitting with him and, cuddling with him on the couch, watching TV. Their relationship wasn't good, though. I remember there was a lot of arguing the last year or two. A lot of fighting, a lot of arguing. And then when my family split up, my dad really got into some deeper addiction issues and dealt with incarceration as well. So there was long periods of my preteen through up to adult life that my dad was completely out of the picture. So yeah, without going into that too deeply at the moment, I'm gonna have some apple juice, right? This is a tough conversation. Yeah, so I feel like I don't know what it's like for someone to be there for me. I feel like I don't know how or the feeling of, to lean on someone, to depend on them. And so to combat that issue, I'm definitely trying to sorry, I have like heartburn. I'm gonna be trying to dive more deeply into my spirituality and connection with Spirit, God, Christ. I think that's a good starting point. I think it's a good starting point because I had experienced that in my life before, like a connection with God, Jesus and Spirit. But I had some really messed up trauma around that too, where my life went through such an upheaval And I experienced so much loss that I also lost my identity through God. Well, my whole identity, my whole reality crumbled. Literally everything: location, family, children, car, support, home, safety, just obliterated. Complete death and loss of self. And so this is such a deep journey for me, rebuilding so many things. But I want to get back on track with, how I'm feeling today. And, why I kind of wanted to start this vlog. And so I was saying that I was dealing with like a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, feelings of resentment, a lot of pain from the past, and needing to lean on God more. I mean, it's definitely helping already, this vlogging, because it was so intense earlier. And I felt so stuck that I literally had feelings of wanting to oof myself. Like, the pain and the struggle just gets so great. And I'm at the point where I'm starting to feel very sick and tired of myself. There are so many wonderful, beautiful blessings in front of me, opportunities that I could take, and I'm missing out on those things because of, these current struggles. And so I know the rules of the book, like what I have to do and to heal. And, right now, like, it's just not clicking. Like, I know I'm disconnected, but I still remember the rules. So I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be. Like, I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to be doing, which is, if I'm feeling a certain way, then I want to come up with a system for me, for my mental health, for my deeper needs. And, that way I can find deeper rest and get back to the home within my heart, where I am more focused on loving, laughing, overall default mode. I'm content, I'm happy with how I feel about myself, my life, my choices, my connections. And so yeah, and as fall is beginning, it's definitely the time to be a hermit and refocus on myself. And try to birth this new thing, this new identity within myself. I had a dream. I think it was like two nights ago. And it was my confirmation that I'm, definitely trying to birth something big and huge here. The only part of the dream that I remember, and I'm sure anybody would remember, was I was looking at a pregnancy test that was mine, obviously, in my dream. And there were two big pluses. Like, it was weird how it looked. Like, it was like a stick. I'll use my nail file, right? Like a stick pregnancy test, and it was like plus sign, double positive. And I was pretty sure that there was also like a paper, and I quick skimmed over it. Like, it was like with the pregnancy test, and I quick skimmed over like what these results were saying. And it said something about a boy as well. And so the only thing that I associate with that is, I have had many prayers that I've sent because it has been a desire that I would like to try to have a boy in the future. Probably farther into the future. And, especially because I do have a son, but I don't have contact with that son. This was one of the situations that was connected to how my whole reality got crumbled with two of my children that live very far away. I used to live very far away. It's getting worse, y'all. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Throat chakra. But yeah, my son. I was able to experience my son for 3.5 years before the separation. And boy, when you have a son, there's a piece of your heart that comes alive that you didn't even know existed. And I won't go into the complications of anything, of everything, but I would love for that opportunity again. A fresh start and a son that would be mine to stay for a little while. One that I could hold and call mine for a couple years until they start to run and talk. And there's my cue. I'll be back. Am back. I'm glad we're starting off strong. In the vulnerability department. I don't know, I'm not a surface level talking kind of person. And I think that, anyone who's gone through a significant amount of trauma and dismantling in their life, they feel the same way. Even when you're on the other side of it, you feel like you have to have this, deep purpose, deeper connection in your life always. So that's me. I was going to share something, but I don't know why I was going to say it. What was I thinking about before? That's all right. It will. I guess I'll just start saying it and maybe it'll come around. So, oh yeah, it had to do with the surface level stuff. That was the connection. So, yeah, I'm not a surface level topic type of person to talk with about. And if you have not made the connection yet, I am also an energy worker and psychic medium. I've practiced for quite a few years now. So in connection with that, I was going to share that, it's like I don't need to have these surface level conversations either to like get to know others, because through my life experiences and am working on my intuition, I can very easily read people if I choose to do so. Also just like basic knowledge of observing others, observe how they carry themselves, their character, their vocabulary, how they treat others, what happens when they get inconvenienced, or angry. You can tell a lot just by observing people. And so you learn how to navigate and cut out the bullshit pretty quickly. I've got to say again, it's really nice to do this. If anyone who's watching this, like, to have an outlet for expression and mental health, try some vlogging. I did have a therapist before in the past, and I remember it being very helpful. Just like when I'm able to speak, it's like I can work through my own mess on my own, and it's really not even a matter of me needing advice or not knowing what to do. Like, I meditate, I speak to my higher self, to spirit, I pray, I listen for answers, I get those answers, I follow my footpath, and I trust the process. I do. And but I'm not afraid to ask for help as well, and that's important. So I feel like there's a good balance. Like, you need to know what's best for you. Like, sure, you can be open to opinions, but ultimately you know you best, and you know it's gonna work for you. You know what ultimately will help you, will fill you. Sometimes it's trial and error. That's not the point. I'm gonna work on the mat next on this hand. And then we have this one to do. Doing one at a time, so that in case I've got to go lay down with my daughter again. That way I'm not stuck in the middle of wet nails. So, what was we just talking about? I guess I got all out on that topic. Yeah, I'm experiencing a lot of clarity just in and of itself with sharing and doing this vlog for the first time. Because what happens at times is like, I don't know, it feels like things in my brain get backed up and things don't flow properly. And I know I'm not perceiving things realistically. I know that in my head things are twisted. So this is extremely helpful because I feel like one of the main things, for me is that like I'm not even validating myself much. Like this is the first time that I feel like I can get things out and talk for as long as I need to. and it's great. I'm really grateful for this moment. And I believe that this helps me to validate myself, my experience, what I'm feeling, right? Getting it out, talking about it, not just keeping it in here. I mean, I try to write, but yeah, like I said, when there's a lot to unpack, you can't write all that shit down. You need to verbally speak it. Just like when I pray or when I am, clearing energy from myself, others, or out of the home, and you're affirming or saying out loud, you're giving order. There's so much power in that loud voice. And it was also interesting too that I was experiencing those issues with my throat, and it seems to have really died down more now. I like this, so I'm happy for those who can resonate and join along with me on the journey. And I encourage you to keep trying what works, even when you have nothing in you, to keep trying. Just do your best. Do your best. Don't stop until you find what you're looking for. Don't give up on you.